Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're doing another video with regard to the latest updates with iRO. As all of you probably know, the OGH challenge mode or Old Glast Heim challenge mode has been released, and I'm sure a lot of you have been forming the materials for this, either to sell or probably if you guys want to make some temporal circlets. Speaking of temporal circlets, if you haven't seen the video around it, I will have one linked on the description below. But today we're going to discuss the enchants for the temporal circlets. You can basically enchant the 4th, 3rd, and 2nd slots, and enchants are actually pretty awesome. Now when it comes to enchant materials, there's 3 that you need to note. You have the temporal fragments, which you can get from the chest between levels 1 to 10 of challenge mode. It also is dropped by the mobs. You'll be surprised how common it is, but it is dropped by the mobs in there. It's not very rare, but you know, obviously it's only the 4th slot enchant, so nothing so big. Next, the temporal gemstone. You can get this from the chest between levels 3 to 10 after killing the final MVP. It also is dropped by the corrupted root in the instance, so if you do get the chance, and you know, it's definitely hard to time that, especially the fact that you only have 30 seconds to kill him and also 30 seconds to get to the middle of the map to try to get to him, so it is pretty tricky. And next is the temporal spell, which is you can get from the chest after killing the MVP between levels 5 to 10. Now it's also dropped by Phantom of Amadeus or Amadeus, I don't know, but yeah, it's also dropped by him, so you know, you still get the chance to get some temporal spells even though you're not in OGH challenge mode level 5 to 10. Now talking about the 4th slot enchants, you need 10 temporal fragments, and you get a random stat enchant between ints 1 to 4, strength 1 to 4, vit 1 to 4, or luck 1 to 4. Unfortunately, no agi or dex stat. I would have loved the dex stat, but I don't know. For the 3rd slot enchant, you actually have 2 options. Option 1 is 20 temporal fragments. You get the chance to get the stat enchants, which is the int, strength, vit, and luck. But you also get the chance to get some temporal jewel enchants, which is, strength, agi, vit, int, dex, luck between levels 1 to 3. Now if you want a more guaranteed enchant for the 3rd slot, option 2, you will need 2 temporal gemstones, and you basically don't get a chance to get some stat enchants, but you can get any of the 6 temporal jewel enchants, which is pretty. I actually would recommend this, because obviously it's just a pain trying to reset and trying to redo everything all over again. It's a better option, yeah. Now let's talk about the temporal jewel enchants for the 3rd slot. First we have temporal jewel strength. Basically you get from either level 1, 2, or 3. It ranges from attack +2 to +7 per 2 refines, hit +3 to +7 per 2 refines, and attack +1% to 3% per 3 refines. Obviously that scales up, between 1%, 2%, 3%, for example, at 1 to 3. Next, the temporal jewel for agi. Basically attack speed +1%, and you get up to 5% per 2 refines at level 3. Fleet +4 to 7 per 2 refines. Attack speed +1 per 5 refines. And basically the attack speed is the same for every level, so it's not the best enchant, to be honest, unless you really want agi. Next is the temporal jewel vit. Levels 1 to 3, def +5 to 10 per 2 refines, HP +200 to 500 per 2 refines, and HP plus 1% to 3% per 5 refines. I mean, yeah, I mean, extra HP is good, but, you know, there are better temporal jewels than this one. But obviously, I feel it's better than the Agi. Next, the temporal jewel for int. Between levels 1 to 3, you get heal effectiveness plus 1% up to 5% at level 3 per 2 refines. M attack plus 2 up to 7 at level 3 per 2 refines, and M attack plus 1% to 3% per 5 refines. Now, something I really need, temporal jewel text. Level 1 to 3, you get bow damage plus 1% up to 3% per 2 refines at level 3. Hit plus 2 up to hit plus 7 per 2 refines at level 3. And attack plus 1% up to 3% per 5 refines at level 3. Now, for critical damage, this is actually pretty good. Probably one of the best third slot enchants all around, because a lot of builds now use critical damage. The temporal jewel for luck, between levels 1 to 3, you get critical damage plus 3% up to 9% per 2 refines at level 3. Imagine crit plus 1 up to 3 per 2 refines, and then attack plus 1% up to 3% per 5 refines. I gotta say that additional critical damage, it's just better than everything else combined. Now, moving on to the second slot enchant, you need 2 temporal spells to get these second slot enchants. Now, you actually get more chances of the I'd call it the special enchants. You know, you get the tenacity, metal, affection, adamantine, master archer, magic essence, and acute enchants, which are similar to the nightmare biolab headgear enchants on the third slot as well. But you still get a chance to get either sharp 1 to 4, expert archer 1 to 4, attack speed 1 to 4, and spell 1 to 4. If you do get unlucky. But don't worry, because the special enchants actually have something like 12.37% chance of getting it, and the sharp, expert archer, attack speed, and spell actually have a lower chance of enchanting on third slot. But if you really get unlucky, but well, I guess at that point, lucky, because it is a lower chance. You get one of the other enchants that you probably don't want, so you'll probably want to reset or throw the Temporal Circlet away, I guess. Now, this is probably something that everybody already knows. If you've made Nightmare Biolab headgears, you probably know all of this. Tenacity, between levels 1 to 10, you either get perfect hit up to from 1 to 10. Melee damage plus 4% up to 44%, and I actually would prefer this over metal, because metal is a type 2 attack, and you know how that goes. If you don't know how it works, you know, just go to iRO wiki. They have a really good explanation around it. Next, metal, obviously not the most desirable enchant. Levels 1 to 10, you get type 2 attack plus 4% up to 44%, and hit plus 10 up to 100 at level 10. But obviously, I don't recommend metal. If you get this, you know, just reset it. You know. Next, affection, probably good for healers who heals anymore. Like level 1 to 10, you get heal plus 5% up to 55%. And SP plus 3% up to 30%. Next, adamantine. This more for the bulky end, I guess tanks, but you know, it's not the most popular enchant, I guess. Between levels 1 to 10, you can either get between HP plus 5% up to 55%. It usually scales. Def plus 140 up to Def 500, which is actually pretty good. And then MDef plus 20 up to MDef plus 200. Next, my favorite out of the bunch, Master Archer. Between levels 1 to 10, you get long range damage plus 4%. up to a maximum of 44% at level 10. Attack speed plus 1% up to 10% at level 10. Next, Magic Essence. Between levels 1 to 10, you get M attack plus 4% and M attack plus 44% at level 10, which is a lot, but I'm actually looking at the FCT reduction because at level 1 you get 0.1 second FCT. At level 10 you get 1 second FCT reduction. You know, if you just get this up to level 5, that's already half a second, which is more than enough for a lot of magic builds or even other skills that actually have fixed cast time. So a lot of people actually go for this. Not everybody, but you know, it's definitely something to look into. And last, one of my favorites, Acute. I have a lot of these on a couple of my bio headgears for the GX and the Rune Knight. Between levels 1 to 10, you get between 20% critical damage to 170% critical damage. Jesus. Crit plus 3 up to crit plus 30 at level 10. Even at level 5, it's 80% critical damage, man. That's more than enough. So yeah, it's just critical damage is just insane, especially with how the damage cap is nowadays. Yeah. Now for the second slot enchant, the enchant level will go down if it fails. Let's say you already have Master Archer and you enchanted it to level 4. If you fail, it goes back down to level 3. But if you're at level 1 and you fail, the enchant doesn't disappear. Basically, it still stays at level 1. To get to level 2, you need 4 temporal spells. Level 3, you need 6. Level 4, you need 8. Basically, increments of 2. It goes up by 4 at level 7. You need 16. Level 8, you need 20. Level 9, you need 28. So 8 more. And at level 10, you need an additional 12 increments from the 28 to 40 temporal spells. But guys, it's just so hard. Like I've enchanted bio headgears before. The most I've actually gotten up to is level 8 Acute, and I botched it up. Now it's at, I think it's at Acute 6 or something. I just stopped. If you are unhappy with the Temporal Circlet enchants that you have, you can actually reset them. For 500,000 Zenny, there is a 30% chance though of failure, and when it fails, the headgear is destroyed. But then again, you know, if your enchants are shit anyway, you know, whether it's reset or it pops, doesn't really matter because it's so easy to get the sealed temporal circlets to make another one and then just redo the enchants. Obviously, you know, it's a waste of materials, but at the end of the day, you know, it's just fun. It's so easy to make another temporal circlet at this point. And the second option is to Nyang Vine. 100% success, and you keep the temporal circlet. You would probably use this if, let's say, for example, you already have a temporal circlet that has an upgrade, like plus 11 already, you know, which is basically the minimum that you need to get the full bonuses for the headgear. The Nyang Vines you can get from kit coins from Kafra, the Kafra shop. I think it's 350 KP, and you get 14 Nyang Vines, I think, in the kit coin box. I don't know, I forgot, or I don't know how it works. But yeah, it's like I said, you'll probably want to do this if you've already upgraded your temporal circlet, and let's say you want to change the enchant and you don't want to pop it, obviously, because it's at plus 11, maybe even plus 12, 13, 14, 17, 20. So yeah, Nyang Vine is probably but obviously you're gonna have to spend KP, but you know, like keeping that plus 12 or plus 20, whatever, it's definitely worth doing it. But otherwise, just 500k, pop it if it's popped, you know, nobody cares. But yeah, so guys, that's everything from the temporal circlet enchants. Well, obviously I should stop saying temporal circlets because they changed the name to Circlet of Time. So yeah, I should say Circlet of Time. But yeah, it's and if you guys are wondering if you can use a silver vine, no, you can't. I tried last night. The NPC wouldn't take a silver vine. It's a yang vine. So yeah, I've tested that for you guys. But hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. Hopefully this gives you a little bit of insight on Temporal Circlet, or well, Circlet of Time enchants. If you liked the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you guys next time.